Okay, let's start discussing quickly, right? So while I'm discussing, you can send me the date, tentative date. Okay, that is all right. Okay, so it's February 13th, right? So am I correct? February 10th and 13th, right? Okay, just for information. So then, yeah, it's enough. Like we will be discussing 4 MCQs, and after discussing these MCQ sessions, then we'll be moving to the structured, semi-structured, and discuss quickly. So don't worry. Normally, I will give my full guidance to get you through the examination. So it's totally up to you to follow up, because whatever needed for the examination, I have already covered. And during the past week also I have covered, and also few times using the theory lessons also I have covered. And what you need to do is just go through the videos, and if you cannot find any video, please let me know. Some video are unlisted and private, and I can send you the video. Specifically send me, please specifically send me the relevant section, then I will be sending you the relevant discussions related to that. Anyway, if you go through the first set of paper discussion videos also, you will find almost all these things, all the theory lessons, because in the theory revision I have just discussed everything. When I'm discussing the question, I have discussed the related theory also. That is a quick way to study. But if you need, like, if you miss the fundamentals or the basics in the theory, then you need some support, like you need to review, or you need to go through the theory lessons too. Anyway, so let's move to the question number 13 and start discussing from 13 now. Which of the following indicates a non-functional requirement? So I said this already. So what are the functional requirement? Functional requirement are the main requirement, or functional requirement are the expectations from the system. So what are these non-functional requirement? Non-functional requirement are the restrictions to these expectations, restrictions to these expectations, right? So functional requirement are the requirement, basically the functional requirement are the expectations, and restrictions, for an example, expectation is getting a printout. So the restriction is getting a printout within 2 seconds is the restriction. Okay, getting so let's say the requirement is registering a user, and restriction is registering user within 15 seconds. So that is the restriction. That is a non-functional. So please identify, understand the difference between functional and non-functional, because time to time they will test this through MCQ, and also sometimes they will give a paragraph and ask you to write down what are the functional requirements, what are the non-functional requirements. Sometimes you have to read the paragraph and answer. Sometimes you have to directly answer by assuming what are the functional, non-functional. Example, Zoom. So what are the functional requirements? Ability to share the screen is a Zoom functional requirement. Ability to chat is a functional requirement in Zoom. Ability to record a meeting is a functional requirement of Zoom. Ability to ability to join students is a functional requirement. Ability to start the video, ability to enable audio, these are functional requirements. Non-functional requirements, maybe ability to enable the video is a functional requirement. Then the video should be the quality of the video, or the clear look of the video is non-functional. Maybe the amount of data consumed during the video enabled session is non-functional. So optimized data consumption during the video enabled session is non-functional. So these are the differences. Functional means directly requirement. Non-functional means anyway the restrictions to those requirements. User shall be allowed to upload an image. That is a functional requirement. The correct invoice value should be calculated at acceptable tax rate. It's a functional requirement. And the system must satisfy 99% availability of the service. That is a restriction. That is a non-functional requirement. The answer is number 2B only for the question number 13. Okay. Then the next one. Consider the process transition diagram given below. Right? Consider the process transition diagram given below. And based on this process transition diagram which is given, so what do you need to do? So here, you are given one is process blocks from the input output. One, the process is blocked. When process is blocked, yes, process blocks from the input output, it will go to the block state. That is the easiest way to review this. When process is blocked, yes, it will go to the block state, right? So that is, the answer is given there itself. So question number 14. Sorry, I mentioned wrong thing here. The question number 13, answer is C, right? So this one, right? I said B only. I just now saw. This is the answer C. C. And here, a process blocks from the input output, then one is here, the B should be blocked. B should be blocked. Where you can see the blocked. B blocked is only number 4. Your answer is there, right? So this is how easy that question is. Tricky, and you can easily find the answer. How? Because here it mentioned processor blocks from the input output. Block kunama block state and the B is blocked. And then A is should be running, right? It should be running to block, then running, blocked. And so what is this? So anything should be ready to run. So this is a ready state. C is ready to. Scheduler picks another process. What is that? 2. And scheduler picks the scheduler picks another process. Scheduler picks this process. This process is picks, and then it will be then another process is. This is called what? This is called context switching. Can you remember the word context switching? Context switching means processor time to time the running context, the running things in the processor is changed. Now you can see the PDF, the document, current document which is running in the PDF, that you can see that paper. But if I go to Word, what is the current document which is running? That is now this A-level ICT number systems and logic gates. Now this is what running in the. So what will happen? What has happened to the previous on PDF? It should be in the ready state. Now back to running, ready, running, ready, running. So something like this. When you switch between these processes, it is called context switching. Context switching. Why? Context switching is used because then only every process will give a fair time to run. Actually, there are few algorithms to do that. Can you remember them? Can anyone remember? So few algorithms. Yes. There are few algorithms. Okay, I'll give one example. One is round robin. One is round robin. Can you remember the others?
Scheduler.
Yes, scheduler. So scheduled algorithm, round robin, priority scheduling, priority queues, priority scheduling, round robin. These are yes, first come first serve, FCFC, first come first serve. So these are some examples. Okay, then the next is scheduler. Okay, this part is clear now, right? Then input output is completed. Once completed, once completed, the block will become running again. Okay, consider the following database table to answer the question from 15 to 17. Right, please go through the question number 15 to 17. Look at the table and try to answer question 15, 16, and 17 quickly. I'll give you 3 minutes. Yes, it's enough, I guess. Quickly. We have already discussed about the normalization. Just in case, let me remind you, the first normalization is focusing on the atomic values. Every single cell need to have atomic, one unique value. So is it satisfied here? Every single cell need to have a unique value. Is it satisfied here? 1, 2, 3. Yes, yes, yes. It's satisfied. The table is in the first normalized form because each cell has a unique value. So it satisfies the first normalized form. So the second normalized form is something to deal with. Can you remember the composite primary keys? Is there any composite primary key or main primary key? Student ID, event name. Student ID, is it a primary key? 12 is there, 12 is here. Oh no, it's not the primary key because it replicates, it duplicates. You can see 12 is here and here, both places. Because 12 is there in 2 places, you cannot take this as a unique key here, here, both. And 18, here you can see 18 here. So it's not a primary key. Therefore, you have to combine them. So let's combine them together. 12, 2. Okay. 12, 3. Now, okay. 12, 2 is one, 12, 2 is another, 12, 3 is another. 18-2, 18-1, 18-2, 18-1, okay. 22-1, 25, okay. Combined primary key is there. There's a composite primary key. Now you have a doubt whether it violates the second normalization form issue. So can you remember what is the second normalization issue? Can you remember? Yes, it is. In the second norm, in 2NF, what you can see? Senali, yes, what you can see in 2NF. So which is violated, which is protected? If there is a composite primary key, then you need to look for, cannot remember. Okay, you have to look for partial dependencies. Partial dependency means if any other key depend on part of the primary key. If any other value is depend on part of the primary key. S2 is carom. S2 is again carom. S1 is basketball. S1 is basketball. S3 volleyball. S4 chess. Yes. You can see there is a partial dependency. It clearly violates the second normalized form. Therefore, you can say the table is in the first normalized form. So the question number 15, answer is number 2. The table is in first normalized form. Varun answer is correct. Situma answer is correct. Senali answer is correct. Okay, you have found the answer, but you don't know what is the violation, right? You need to understand that. Okay, consider the following statement then regarding the above C. It has a composite primary key, obviously. Yes, for sure. It has a composite primary key. Event name attribute is fully dependent on the primary key student spot table. No, it's not fully dependent. It's partially dependent. It's fully dependent on the primary key. But again, it is dependent on some other key also. Therefore, there is a doubt. Then event ID is a candidate key. No, it's not a candidate. It's duplicating key. It's not a candidate. So it has a composite primary key. That is true. So A only is the correct answer. 16, 1 is the answer. So that why 1 is the answer? Because you cannot tell that event name attribute is fully depend on the primary key. No, it's not fully depend. You can see event name depend on event ID. But primary key mata dependent on here 12 is carom, again 12 should be carom. No, it's not depending on the student ID. It's not depending on both keys. It's not depending on the student spot table, the primary key. Primary key is composite, and there is a partial dependency also. Therefore, you have to consider about only A. A is the correct answer. The next 17. It is required to add a new field age to the student spot table. The values of the new field must be greater than 10. You have to add a check. Which one is correct? Alter table student add what is the field name? Age. Alter student table add age. Alter student table add age. No. Alter student table add update. No. It's a DDL query, because you need to add a table. You are going to change the structure. If you want to change the structure, you have to write DDL. Update is not a DDL query, DML query, data manipulation. It is affecting only on data. Data update, deleting happening on data, data delete, select happen on data, data select, update happen on data, data update, insert happen on data, data insert. So these are all DDL queries, these are all DML queries, data manipulation, which is affecting on data. But we need something affecting on the structure. That is alter table. ALT, alter table. That is true. The first three are okay, but the thing is, set is not. So basically, we have to first alter table, student, add age. And after that, only the check-in should come. Right? Therefore, you have no answer. Unfortunately, for 17, no answer is there. So no answer is there. 17 nap there. Alt එකක් තියෙන්න ඕන. Alt වෙන්න ඕන. Add age කියලා තියෙනවා. Add age කියන එක කොහෙවත් දාන්න නැහැ. Age is missing. Add age, then you have to check this condition. right? So checks can be added. So then, which of the following SQL command not available in data DML? They're asking, right? Which of the following is not available in DML? I said the answer already. What is the answer?
Create.
Yes. Sorry. Create. Yes. Delete happen. Delete on data. Insert data. Select data. Update data. Create. It's not data. It's the table structure. So create is a DDL. It is not DML. It is DDL, data definition. It's not data manipulation. Correct. Question number 19 to 22. Can you go through questions? Now we are speeding up, right? 19 to 22. Please go through that quickly. You have 4 minutes. In the memory hierarchy, this is common question in most of the papers, coming in different formats, right? So please ready for this question in this year also, because this is coming in different formats. So this is a kind of common question. Mostly they are in most of the papers. Not even like not the pyramid, but the related question will come for this time paper also, right? So it can be pyramid or without or with the pyramid, the related question will come. So in the hierarchy, they're asking about which of the following represent ABCD respectively. It's asking about ABCD, the respective values. So here actually you can see A is one of the fastest memory that can be registers, that can be cache memory too. Anyway, kind of fastest memory. So here you can see the registers in most of the answers, registers is given. We can take that as the answer. B is somewhat slower than registers, can be cache memory, can be random access memory. So which is something slower and having less capacity. Registers are very small capacity memory cells. But random access memory or the cache memory is called static random access memory, SRAM, because it is fixed. It's a fixed memory for storing things. The memory is fixed, no need to refresh. Periodically refreshing and changing things are not needed. But it's like, okay, let's say 2 people are there. There are 2 caps. So that is fixed. Both of them can wear the cap whenever they want. But dynamic random access memory is like 2 people are there, 1 cap is there. They have to refresh the cap. They have to refresh the cap faster, so both will have the cap. But for a given amount of time, it is, if it is very quickly swapping, the outside observer can see both will have cap, but it is actually because of the fast refreshing. So that is like the dynamic sum. Dynamic sum is basically refreshing, but static means fixed, allocated fixed, which is faster. Static is faster. So actually register is kind of a static RAM. Then cache memory is also kind of static RAM. Actually A is given as registers, then the cache memory, both are static RAMs. Then the dynamic RAM, B can be taken as the dynamic RAM. So now the answer can be narrowed down to 3 or 4, right? Answer can be narrowed down to 3 or 4. So they are asking A, B, C, D, right? A, B, C, D. Then the next is solid state, SSD is given, right? After SSD, it can be normal dynamic hard disk. SSD, not dynamic, but it is basically hard disk. After SSD, hard disk comes. Hard disk is where? Hard disk is the processor, random access memory, magnetic hard disk, hard disk. Then the magnetic tape is even after that. Now we can finally narrow down the answer into number 3. First the processor, then the random access memory, then the magnetic, and then C is basically magnetic hard disk, and then the next one is optical disc, CD, DVD, and then you can or Blu-ray, all these things, and then you can move to the next level, which is actually the magnetic tapes or the network storages. That is the final. So answer 3 is the can be taken. Actually, sometimes optical disc comes before the magnetic hard disk, because considering the capacity, optical disc can be put there, then this can be taken, this can be swapped. Okay, which of the following represent the result of binary arithmetic operation? Two numbers are given. You are to calculate the arithmetic operation. This is surely may question. Like if you get this kind of question, surely you should get the marks. If you are not getting the marks, that is maybe you have to check your brain, right? Because surely you should get marks. Anivarya. Why? So one is because one thing is you can just add them as binary. Second one is convert them into decimal and add them. Then convert back to the binary. There are a number of ways to find the answer. So either one of these should come to your head. Anyway, let's try pure binary addition first. 1 1 0 0 1 1 0 0. The next one is 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1. And when you add them together, you can say the last bit is 0 plus 1 is 0 plus 1. You can take it as.
So we have to subtract.
Are we going to subtract or add? Ah, yes, subtract. Sorry, so that is it. Right, sorry, my mistake. I didn't read the question. So that can happen to you also, right? It is subtracted. You have to subtract from this one, and actually that can be so done using addition. So if you are doing using addition, what you need to do is the second number you have to represent using the both numbers you need to represent using 2's complement. So is it given it like that? Or no, just think about the pure binary subtraction. That is also okay. Pure binary subtraction. So in pure binary subtraction, remember this. 1 minus 1 is 0. Right? 1 minus 1 is 0. And then 1 minus 0 is 1. That is also okay. 0 minus 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. And then 0 minus 1. This is what you cannot do. Then you have to think about 0 minus 1. Then you have to think about the previous bits. You can make it something like this. Sometimes you can make it 1 0 minus 1. If it is 1 0 minus 1, that is 2 minus 1. No? Then it will become 1. Or it can even be 1 0 0 minus 1. 1 0 0 is 4. 4 minus 1 is what? 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 is 1 1. Either way, you have to think. Either it can be 1 0 0 0 minus, that is 8 minus 1, which is 7. 1 1. No. Likewise, you have to face. Anyway, here you can see 0 minus 1 cannot be done. Then 1 0 minus 1 cannot be done. 1 0 0 minus 1 can be done. So that is 1 0 0 is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. Here you will get 1 1. Okay, the next bit. Let's go to the now this part is over. So this is how you make the subtraction easy. This part is over now. This one is gone already because you have taken that for the subtraction of the previous one. This one is already gone because 1 0 0 minus 1 is 1 1. Then here minus 1. Here actually you will get this 0 minus 1 doesn't matter. So it's also. Then the next one is here you can see 1. Here you can see 1 and 1. Sorry, here you can see 0. 0 will you have to carry the you have to think about the carry forward bit or not the carry forward bit, the previous bit. So that is 1 0. 1 0 minus 1 is again 2 minus 1 is 1. Then here actually remain in 0. Remain in 0 and 0 minus 0 is 0. Okay. So now you have calculated the first 4 bits. Calculation for first 4 bits already done. Is there any matching answer? That is the easiest way rather than this is a paper. Right? This is a paper, therefore you have to be tricky. If you have found the answer and if there is a unique answer which is matching with this, no need to recalculate and see. Is there any matching answer now?
Yes,
which is ending with triple ones. Yes, it is number 3. Blindly we can go to the number 3. Have you calculated this fully? So what is the answer?
Third one.
Third one. Even by this level, you can find the answer that is enough. Oh, I'll show you another trick. Because we are facing examination now, not the standard method. You know the standard method of calculation. We have discussed this in theory class. So sometimes some person watching at this video will laugh at me. Is this the way that teacher teach subtraction in binary? But that is not the point. That is not the point. This is the examination. I'm teaching you for the examination in the paper class. In the paper class, you need tricks and magics, right? Because in the paper class, you cannot apply අර ඉස්සරහින් එකක් ගේනවා ඒක මෙතනට ගෙනාව දෙකයි දෙකෙන් එකක් මෙහෙමයි ඒක තමයි හරි ක්‍රමය. That is the correct method. You cannot subtract 1 from 0. You bring 1 from the previous one. There is no 1. Bring 1 from the previous one. That will become 2. And from that, take 1 from දෙකෙන් එකක් ගන්න. From that 2, take 1 from this. Then 1 minus 1. So then again it will become 2. 2 minus 1 is 2. And this remaining 1. 1 minus 0 is 1. So that is the traditional way. Right? But I'm not to teach that in the paper class. This paper class, you need tricks. Let's consider last 4 digits. Last 4 digits 1100. The last 4 digit of the next one 0101. Okay, just consider these 2 bits. What is 1100? Can you tell me the decimal value of 1100? Come on, you know that 1100 decimal value. 12. 0101. What is the decimal value?
5.
5. 12 minus 5. What is the value? 12 minus 5. 7. How to write 7 in binary?
1 1.
Okay. You found the answer, right?
Yes.
Okay. So whatever the easy method apply. This is examination, right? This is not to learn the subject. Now you are out anyway. If you like or not, now you have to face the exam. You have to be faster in the exam. That's all. Don't try to calculate in the traditional method is okay. If it is asked in the essay paper or structured paper, do it according to this traditional method. Here you need the answer. Either you look at the other person, write the answer. That is also okay. But don't do that. Right? Therefore, be tricky. When writing the paper, be tricky. Just take last 4 digits. Try to summarize last 4 digits. 1100 is 12. 01 is 5. 12 minus 5 is 7. 7 is 111. Okay, where you can see 111. Okay, this is the answer done. That is how. Addition also the same, right? If addition happen, that is the same thing. Do the same. Try to calculate try to summarize the last 4 bits. Get the answer. Find out a matching answer. But for addition, sometimes if it is like a number like this, sometimes you can't add like this, right? 1 0 1 1 1 1 1 1 1, and you are adding 0 1, something like this. Then actually you have to think. Just adding last 4 bits, we won't give you the solution. Right? So be tricky. But subtraction is okay. But here you can see the 111 is 7. 2 is 3. 7 plus 2 is 7. Here 7. 7 plus 3 is 10. So don't get 1010 and then tell last answer matching 1010. Therefore, I select this answer. Don't be like that. It's not. It can be, cannot be. So therefore, it's not the way for addition. This is for the subtraction only. Otherwise, you will do this wrong. Why? So let's do the addition and see. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. Remaining 1 plus 1 is 2. Right? 2 remaining 0. Remaining 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1, 3. 3. And remaining 1. That 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay. Up to now, okay. Right? Remaining 1. That 1 plus 1. That 1 plus 1. Now, can you see why did I say that? Don't add the first last 4 bits and find the answer. Because next bits will affect. Therefore, don't rely on that kind of answer, especially in addition. Right? 1 plus 1 is 2 years, 2 in 0, then remaining 1, 1 plus 1 is 3, then 1, the remaining 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, okay, 0, remaining 1, 1 plus 1 is 2 again. Here, that's why I said not to do that. You have to think about that bit also. Here it is 0. Here it is 0. Right, 0. Then that one will carry forward. And that 1 plus 1 plus 1 will 3. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. Right? 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. Then carry forward bit. 1 plus 1 is 2. 0. Right? That 1 plus 1. Again 2. 0. Again the carry forward bit. Okay, can you see the answer? It's not the same that we thought. This is the answer. Right? Oh, I'll suggest another method when you are doing addition. I'll suggest another method, a quick method. Just convert the number. 1111111 is 127. You know these patterns, how to convert them. Here 100, it's 16 here. 16 here, no, it's no 4, 16 plus, there is 19. 16 plus 3. Then 127 plus 19 is 146. 146. 146. Because 127 plus 20 is 127. 19 is 146. Okay, 146 in binary. 146 in binary. You need 128. 128. Then you need 128 plus. You don't want to add 64, no. 32, no. 16, yes. 128 plus 16 is 128 plus 16 will become 16. 128, 16, 24.
44.
44. Okay, 44. Then you need 2 more. Then you don't need 8, no, 4s, 2. Yes, and so use this method. Be specific. For subtraction, you can do the magic. For addition, I think now you feel subtraction easier than addition, right? Is it? Sometimes, yes. Some people, because normally in the traditional method, subtraction is difficult than addition. But in the tricky method, subtraction is easier than addition. So that's the nature. Be careful. Okay. Anyway, answer is number 3 here. Which of the following statement is correct about 2's complement? Subtraction is carried out as addition. Very true. That is why the 1's complement come, but that is why the 2's complement is there. We don't want subtraction. It is also done as addition. That is very true. A is true for 21. Then calculations are more efficient. Yes, of course, calculations are efficient. Overflow bit re-addition is not there. Subtraction is not there. So it's happy thing. Like for the computer is happy because no subtraction, no overflow bit considerations. It's efficient. It is possible to represent negative numbers with, yes, it's possible to represent the negative numbers, positive numbers, both. Actually, positive number representation, sign and magnitude, 1's complement, 2's complement, all are similar in positive number representation. Negative number representation, sign and magnitude, represent sign separately. If for negative number is 1, the magnitude, the value. Sign and value, magnitude is the value, and sign is the sign. The negative sign is minus, that is 1. That is positive is 0, negative is 1, then the magnitude. That is simple. But the thing is, there is addition, that is, there is subtraction. And there's the problem of negative and positive zeros. If you can remember, negative 0, positive 0. If you cannot remember, please watch the theory lesson that was done for 2024 recently. You can find that video through YouTube. Then the next thing is what? So in the 1's complement, negative number, positive numbers are same. Negative numbers, you invert. So if positive 10 is this, positive 10 is 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0 in 8 bits. The negative 10 is 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1 in 1's complement. That is the reverse, inversion. Right? In the 1's complement, subtraction issue is solved, but overflow bits need to be re-added. And negative, positive zeros are there. In the 2's complement, you add 1 to 1's complement. That is 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. You add 1 to the 1's complement to make it 2's complement. This is how it's done. Okay, the next question. Which of the following statements? This one, what is the answer? All ABC. Number 5. Which of the following statements correctly describe hackers? I don't like to discuss this question in the classroom. The reason is my YouTube channel was banned due to this. There was a question in ICT paper. I just discussed about the hackers and hacking. They have banned my YouTube channel for discussing about hackers and hacking. But the thing is, then I have to explain them. This was an examination question. I had to describe. I am compelled to do that. I had to do that. No any method, because this is for education, not to motivate the hackers. Right? So that can happen again when I discuss about the hackers anyway. So let me do, because this is a question. They are bored, lonely, antisocial teenagers who attack computer system as a challenge and sometimes for profit. If I find the person, definitely I will hit on head. Right? If I find the person who has created the paper, that person should be hanged, no matter whether it's a professor, or no matter whether it's a doctor or someone who has created this paper should be thrown away from the education system. So if they file a case against me, it doesn't matter. මේ වගේ උත්තර දාලා මේ වගේ ප්‍රශ්න හදන මිනිස්සු අනිවාර්යෙන් අධ්‍යාපන පද්ධතියෙම එළියට විසික් කරන්න. Right? Actually, why I'm telling that? In 2022 paper, this was considered as a 2019 paper, this is considered as a correct answer. Right? මේක correct answer එකක් විදිහට හරියට දීලා තියෙනවා 2019 paper එකේ. So think about their level of thinking. Sri Lankan people will think the hackers are bored, lonely, antisocial teenagers. That is a clear discrimination. So definitely, if a hacker comes, he or she will really, instead of getting angry, she will laugh at the people who will create this paper. They will laugh at the paper. Because these people, the Sri Lankan people, are bored, lonely, antisocial. Old people should be there in elders' home without making these papers. මේගොල්ලෝ තමයි මේ bored, lonely, antisocial මිනිස්සු මහලු නිවාසයක ඉන්නෝනේ මේ papers හදන්නේ නැතුව. Right? So no such thing. So clearly no such thing, right? We cannot compare the hackers with their show. We cannot like map the hackers with their social behavior. How that can happen? So don't think that I'm telling this because I'm a certified ethical hacker, right? I'm not such person, right? But I'm also a certified ethical hacker from EC Council. I have done CH version 9 exam and certified for ethical hacking. But that doesn't mean that I'm a bored, lonely, antisocial baila, right? So this is what I have to tell. But anyway, for the examination purpose, we have to think like our adult. We have to think like our poor adults who are nowadays fighting about saris that teachers should wear in the schools. This is their nature. We have to anyway, we have to, so when you are writing the paper, you cannot help. This is their nature. This is how they think about the world. This is how they saw the world. Right? But anyway, cannot help. So anyway, so this part is correct. The second part is correct. They might take the computer system for challenge. They will do something for challenging. They will do something for profit. That is true. That is true. But the first part is utter foolish garbage, right? So then the next is they are IT skilled people who attack computer systems of individuals' business as a form of competition. Yes, can be. The second answer is correct. පළවෙනි එක ගෙදරත් එක්ක තරහ ගිහිල්ලා තමයි ඉල්ල තියෙන්නේ. දෙවෙනි එක හරි. දැන් ඔන්න හරි පාරට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ. අර රනිල් යහමකට ආවා කියලා කියන්නේ මහින්ද ඒ වගේද? Right? Okay. It's like යහමකට ඇවිල්ලා දෙවෙනි උත්තරේ ලියන්නේ. The third one is they are organized crime groups. But the thing is, this is only about the black hat hackers. Remember, white hat hackers are security specialists. Ethical hackers, white hat hackers are coming under. Actually, they are considered as security people. They are not really these black criminal people, right? Because then actually they have categorized police also as criminals, CID also as criminals, FBI also as criminals. That cannot be done. but FBA, weapon use කරන හැමෝම criminals ලා නෙමෙයි. Weapon use කරන සමහරව ඉන්නවා security purpose use කරන. Therefore, this question has a problem, right? Anyway, they are organized crime groups can consider, but only about the black hat hackers, only about the black hat hackers or the dangerous hackers. They are organized crime groups that they deploy highly automated and sometimes highly targeted attack against the computer systems, individuals, and the business for certain benefits. Yeah, that is true. Examination purpose, answer is all, right? Examination purpose. So you can consider the answer as all, but really answer is all again. Really the answer is all means they have to give answer for any answer that you have marked because the question is wrong. So which is the most suitable HTML form element? Which is the most suitable HTML form element input type in which the user can enter his credit card secret number? In that case, this should be masked, right? In this case, if need to enter the registration, the secret number, it should be masked, right? It should be masked, and so then you have to write input type, what? Input type password, right? Input type text area, everyone can see. Input type text area, you have text area tag. Text area tag, everyone can see. Input type checkbox means just put in a checkbox. Input type hidden is it is never visible. You cannot see that in the user interface, but you can see that in the code. Code you can just get the secret information like user's browser, not secret. You can get information secretly. User to horeng, user information gun. User to karadara karan natu user information gun. Without bothering the user, getting user's information. Maybe the time submitted the form, the browser used by the user, the operating system used by the user. To get such information, we are using input field hidden, but that is not visible to user. Input field checkbox is that correct sign. If you want to check, there is checkbox. I agree, something like that. Input type text is just a text field, everyone can see. Input type password is masked one. You can see asterisk when you are typing the password, asterisk or some small mid dots or bubbles or balls, some mask character. It's not showing that. So input type password is the correct one here. So 23, answer is 4. Consider the following statement regarding extended ER diagrams. Please note that you will not be asked to draw extended EER, but you will be asked to compare, and sometimes they might ask like features related to EER. EER include all concept of the original ER? Very true, yes. EER include all the concepts of ER. EER has additional concept like specialization, generalization. EER has additional concepts like specialization, generalization. Yes, that is what the enhanced version. Generalization, specialization. So that is generalization means more general, like it's like okay, let's say part-time student, full-time student can be put as student. Student is an entity, can be divided into two specializations, part-time student, full-time. So both are students. Both are entities, all are entities, but that entity derives from the general student. There are two, part-time, full-time. The part-time, full-time one, that is called specialization. When you merge them together, part-time, full-time into the student, we call generalization. That is the idea. ER model include the new concept model, weak entities, no such things. It's not a new concept, it's only about the existing ER model with generalization, specialization concepts. A and B are correct. Answer is number 3. Answer is number 3. Okay. 25 to 31. We have speed up. So you can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes. Okay. 1 minute for each, 7 minutes. Answer the question number 25 to 31 quickly. Few more questions to the board. Which of the following are properties of a signal? Signal is a way of transmitting data from one place to another place. Data at rest, that is data and information. Data at transit, it's a signal. Gaman karana datta. Tama signal kya? Which of the following are properties of a signal? Right? Amplitude, tīvratavya, amplitude, yes. Frequency, how frequent, how fast, or how frequent. Frequency means the same, like if a same kind of, let's say there is a wave, sine wave like thing. So frequency is how many cycles. Cycles means similar activities, similar occurrences. How many cycles happens per second? We measure that using hertz. That is frequency. Amplitude, frequency, pace, and wavelength. Yes, amplitude, frequency, pace. Pace means the angle of the signal, relative angles. When there are two signals, what is the relative angle related to the other? What is the angle of the another? The second one is called the relative angle. So that is also considered as a property of signal. And the wavelength is the gap between corresponding 2 points in a cycle. So, you know, in a sine wave corresponding 2 points. So what is the gap? Is called wavelength. So let's move to the virtual lab to show these properties very quickly. We have signal. Okay, I think we can explain using wave easily. Okay, this is basically a wave which you can observe in water. So usually in a water tank, if you put water drops into a water tank in a certain frequency, certain time frames, you can see the wave format. Side view. Let's drop a water. Can you see when you drop a water, that propagates, that energy propagates forward. It uses these particles, water particles, but using these particles, it propagates the energy to some other direction. That is called a wave. Okay. Let's use a side wave. I'm using a continuous format. Now you can see. Okay. So what is the wavelength? Wavelength is a gap between corresponding 2 points. The point number 1, you can just say this point, and maybe this point. Can you see the same? The highest in this point and this point. The gap between these two is called the wavelength. Two corresponding points. That is the wavelength. Frequency means how frequent these drops are falling. So let's increase the frequency. And when you increase the frequency, automatically the wavelength changes, because there's an equation V equal F lambda. I'm changing the frequency. Can you see when the frequency reduced, wavelength is more? Now the corresponding 2 points, the gap between corresponding 2 points are high. Wavelength increase. Reducing frequency has increased the wavelength. Increase in the frequency. Big drops. Increase in the frequency will reduce the wavelength, because V equal F lambda. F is frequency, lambda is the wavelength. And the amplitude, if you reduce the amplitude, the drops are, you can see, slight drops. It's very light waves. Increase it, more amplitude, the power is high. So let's make a tsunami by increasing it further. Now you can see, okay, the height is more. And also you can see some other properties of the signal. When it goes from the source to destination, the power of the signal reduces, which is called attenuation. The power of the signal reduces, which is called attenuation, from the source to the destination. And noise you cannot see in this channel, but attenuation, these are called transmission transmission impairments. Attenuation, delay, distortion, noise, so distortion or attenuation. Distortion is like original format of the signal is distorted for some reason. Noise is basically some other, because of the wind and because of some other things in the environment, the original signal is disturbed. That is noise. So for an example, my voice is there. Maybe you can hear some other voices. Sometimes my son and daughter, they are shouting, right? You can hear their voice, but that voice will become noise to this lesson, because in this lesson you are coming to listen my lecture, but you can hear some other voices maybe in the background. That is noise, unexpected signals in the background. Okay, amplitude, frequency, pace, and wavelength. Question number 25. The answer is what? Answer is number 3. 26. Which of the following contains only the guided media? Guided media means wires. Coaxial is a wire, fiber optic is a wire, twisted pair is a wire. Number 3. Very easy. Infrared is not a wire, microwave is not a wire. Infrared is a light source. We cannot see that because the below our vision limit, the frequency below our vision limit, infrared. But animals can see that, and the cameras can see that. Satellite communication happens through microwave. That is called satellite microwave. So there are two kinds of microwaves: terrestrial microwaves and satellite microwaves. Terrestrial microwave happen that is there in the normal surface of the Earth. Satellite is basically communicating with the air in the satellite layer, the satellites. So answer for 26 is again number 3. 27, frequency modulation technique used change only the frequency, right? So frequency modulation is basically changing what? 27, it's changing the frequency, right? That is why the FM, frequency modulation. Actually, modulation happens when you mix analog signal with, when you modulate analog signal with a high power analog signal. Actually, we are using a powerful, in the frequency modulation, we are using a powerful frequency to transmit weak frequency. So how this happens? A powerful frequency to translate weak frequency. Can you see this? Okay, FM. Where's FM? Okay, here. So this is my powerful signal. This is the original signal. This is a weak signal. You can see the wavelength is high. So, and the frequency is low. This kind of signal cannot go long distance. This can travel only a short distance. Therefore, we are using a high frequency signal, HF, a high frequency signal. Then, according to this frequency of this high frequency signal is changed. Actually, in these low places, the frequency is reduced. In these high places, the frequency is increased. Frequency is again reduced, or further reduced. Frequency is increased. Reducing, increasing, reducing, increasing, reducing, increasing, reducing, increasing, reducing. Likewise, you are changing the frequency of this high frequency signal, and this signal can travel long distance. This signal can travel long distance. That is the idea of frequency modulation. I hope you got the point. That is frequency modulation or FM. Okay, I hope that is clear enough. Let's move to the next part. Then what? The frequency modulation change. the frequency. Question number 27, 4 is the answer. 28. Which of the following is a valid example for PHP variable name? PHP variable name rules should start with $sign. Okay. 3 and 4 both are correct. No spaces in the middle. Never in any variable. Cannot keep the spaces in the variable. Identify a name. So this is wrong because of the space in the middle. So this is correct because no space. So that is number 4. Binary equivalent to decimal 54.25. Just divide the number by 2. We just explained this. If you divide the number by 2, and the easier way to drop the answer, so 54 is an even number. Even number means the last bit should be 0. The last bit 1 nang odd number. So මේ odd answers ඕනේ. මේකත් odd answer එකක්. ඒකත් වැරදි. මේ තුනෙන් එකක් තමයි හරියන්න ඕනේ. 29 2 or 3 or 5. මොකද මේවයි තමයි බිංදුව අගට තියෙන්නේ. කියන්නේ even answer. හරි ඊළඟට 25 තියෙන්නේ කොහෙද කියලා බලන්න. 0.25 කියන්නේ 01 නේ. එහෙනම් දෙක හෝ තුන. දැන් ඉතින් ප්‍රශ්නයක්. then 54 හොයන්න වෙනවා. එහෙම තිබ්බේ නැත්නම් ටක් ගාලා හොයන්න පුළුවන්. 25 හොයාගත්තා අකට even තිබ්බ මේක කියලා හොයාගන්න පුළුවන්. 54 බලන්න වෙනවා. 54 you need to calculate. 54 is basically 32 plus 16. 32 plus 16 48. 32 plus 16 දෙකක් තියෙන්නේ පෙ 32 16 48 48 plus 6 that is 54. Number 3 is the answer. 29. Question number 30. Which of the following is a valid example for CSS class selector? Class selector should start with the dot number 1. Right? So I don't know why they have given easy answer like that. So class selector start with the dot, ID selector start with hash, tag selector start with the tag name. Right? Remember this principle. Class selector start with the dot, ID selector with hash, then tag selector with the name. Okay, 31. Final question for today. Which of the following is false regarding the HTML form of methods get and post? Both methods used to transfer data from client side to server. Very true. It's true. Get method is more efficient than post. Yes, get is faster. Sending through the URL is faster. Get method is more suitable to send sensitive data. No. Because get sent data through URL. It's not sensitive. Everyone can see. Everyone can see and bookmark that. Later they can obtain the data. That is not a good way. Whatever you type in the get, you can see in here in the URL itself. You can see it in the address bar. Frequency modulation. You can see that in the address bar. That is get request. It's not secure. It's not good for sensitive data. So that is the answer. That should be the answer. Let's see. Post does not have a limit on size of data. Yes, you can send many considerable amount of data using post based on the capacity of the network and based on the capacity of the machine. Post request cannot be bookmarked. Yes, true. Very true. You cannot bookmark that. You cannot see that even. You cannot bookmark therefore. Number 3 is the answer for question number 31. Okay, with that, I'll stop for today. Let's continue the discussion next week. I'm a little tired, therefore I'm stopping here, but we have considerable amount of discussion, considerable amount of questions we have discussed today. So next day we can finish the paper and start the next paper, which is 2020 paper, and then 21, and then quickly move to the second paper and structured paper discussion. Okay, good night. See you all next week.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.